watch
How?
this?
How?
How?
Ew,
How do you watch this?
Dude, I'm gonna pee my pants.
Hi, you're listening to How Do You Watch This, a movie review podcast where each week we recommend a movie in the genre we love, but they don't. My name is Megan, and I love romance.
My name is Demi, and I love horror.
And this is my favorite week, Romance Week. And I had Demi watch the movie Emma, the 2020 adaptation.
Yeah.
So I'm really excited because we did actually watch this together when it came out.
Yeah.
And it has since become a comfort movie for me, much
Yeah.
like Pride and Prejudice.
I mean,
I'm a big fan.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah, it's super great. I have lots of really good things to say about it. I rewatched it again yesterday, even though I saw it like 2-3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
But before we jump in, I don't know if you realize this, maybe you do, but when this comes out, it will be 2 days before the 1-year anniversary of the podcast.
Oh my gosh, really?
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
Oh,
we
yeah.
have been
We did
doing.
start in August.
Yeah. August 20th was our first episode release, which means that we started recording before then. So we're at a year, baby.
Holy crap.
Yeah.
Look at us.
Yeah. I know. Look at us. Sticking with it for a year.
Time to quit.
So yeah, I know. It's almost time for us to close this thing down. We'll see what our next venture is. Maybe our next one will be podcasting about like silly little TV shows.
Yeah, we'll start up our next venture.
Yeah, exactly.
God knows what
but
that
yeah,
would be.
I could think of like 100 things that we could
We could
bullshit about for over an hour.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah.
But
So-
that's awesome.
Yeah, and I have in my mind, I have a 1-year anniversary present for you, but I have to execute
Oh,
it. So
okay.
I've been holding on to it for a while, and I have not done the thing I want to do. So someday, I think maybe the next time we do an in-person, I'm gonna give you my anniversary gift.
Okay, and I'll definitely have something for you. I'll definitely.
You don't have to. I know. I'm telling you that I did this because I don't know. It's not because I need something in return. I just want you to know I have something planned for you. And someday I'll probably give it to you. It's just like the socials. Someday it will happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just feel bad. What was the last thing you gifted me? Was it a Valentine's Day gift or something random? And I was like, what the?
Oh, yeah, I did. Yeah, I
didn't
gave you a
get
Valentine.
I didn't get you anything.
I
How
do.
awful of me.
No, it's okay. I like to give gifts. And
Okay.
sometimes it's just, a way to show love. And I also know that sometimes it can be overwhelming when I effusively praise with my love, when I do like words of affirmation and go on and on about my undying love. So it's like a way to mix it up a little bit,
I appreciate that. And I feel like I'm
Yeah,
slacking. So
No, it's okay. I feel
I did get you a pumpkin in a PBR can. So
Oh, that's true. Debbie got me a street pumpkin, which is like the best kind of pumpkin you can get. You thought of me, and that's all that matters.
yeah, that hopefully
I still have to
no one
plant it
pissed
in the
it.
ground. Yeah, I mean, if they did, I'm gonna keep it away from the other garden in heaven.
Yeah,
just in case it's got,
Keep its distance. We'll see
Yeah.
what grows from it.
we don't know what germs are part. It's gonna be like a Last of Us sort of situation. where
Yeah,
it's a
or it could
pumpkin
be
that
like the
creates the
biggest pumpkin
apocalypse.
ever. Like
Ooh,
super
imagine
powerful.
that'd be
Yeah.
pretty sick. Yeah.
So we'll see.
Love that. It like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. They were street
Yeah.
turtles that got turned. This is gonna be
Right.
a pumpkin. It'll turn into a carriage. Oh, that'll be cute.
Yeah.
Hit my ride,
I did this on purpose.
Yeah.
Obviously.
I know. Yeah, you
Anyway.
were prepared. You were like, I know it's gonna be our 1 year. I'm gonna get you this street pumpkin.
I'm working backwards here. So I knew that was
Yeah.
I knew before I
Mhm.
knew. So
It's your psychic coming through,
Yes, that's right.
Not only do you predict baby genders in your dreams, but you also sense podcast anniversaries.
Right. It's like I get a sense, a vibe of something, but I don't know what. So
Yeah.
it's that. Thank you.
There you go. There it was.
Exactly it. Anyway, Emma.
Emma.
Has nothing to do with the movie at all.
Nope. Absolutely nothing.
pumpkins.
There are not a single pumpkin to be had.
No podcasts
That
have
I
been running for a
noticed, yeah.
year.
Yep.
So Emma, 2020, not to be confused with
Yes.
the other one with Gwyneth Paltrow. I don't know what year that was.
Right. I think it was 96.
It's an oldie. It's a goodie though.
Yeah.
Enjoy it.
It's good. I haven't seen it since high school. I feel like I wanted to.
Oh,
I
okay.
I want to give it a little bit of a rewatch, but it did not put my heart in a chokehold the way Pride and Prejudice did. And this one, it's nothing will ever be Pride and Prejudice, but this one,
This one's really good. I also really love
well
Sense and
done.
Sensibility, the original
Mhm.
one. I really love that one. So,
Who was in that one?
Kate Winslet. She was very young. And
Okay.
oh, what's his name that passed away? Really bad of me. He played Snape in Harry Potter.
Oh, Alan Rickman.
Alan Rickman. Yeah, he's in
Okay.
it. And
Yeah,
I forgot
for once
the name.
I know the actor.
I know.
What?
Thank you.
Dude,
But yeah.
speaking of, okay. We get out of Deadpool,
Okay.
right? And Travis turns to me and he's like, how'd you feel about your man being in Deadpool? And I was just like, what? What?
Stop. You didn't
Like,
recognize
Darcy. And I was like, oh, I knew that name was familiar because I saw Matthew McFadden or
Right,
Fadden or whatever.
yeah.
I saw his name and I was like, I know that name. And I saw the actor and I knew that was the actor. I was like, I know who that is. But my brain did not put him as Darcy. No, because in my mind, he's like swoopy hair.
Yeah, he's much
broody.
like older. Yeah.
He looks different. He still looks, very attractive. I'm good with it. But Travis has not stopped giving me shit about it since. He is nonstop. He's like, I can't believe you've seen that movie as many times as you have and you don't recognize the actor. Like,
haircuts. Okay.
Listen.
Yeah, hairstyles do a
change a
lot.
person.
Right.
They do.
So both of your men were in it.
Anyway.
Henry Cavill too.
Oh, girl, when I saw that, I was like, honestly, like, I get it. I get that everyone loves Hugh Jackman, but if Henry wants to stay, like, if you want to be Wolverine, I'm good with it. I was feeling it. I was very excited, and then it lasted like 30 seconds, but that was amazing. I loved all the
It was a
cameos.
good, it was a good cameo. So very solid.
Yeah.
Anyway, oh my God, what are we?
Yeah, where were we?
Emma. Director.
Yes, Emma.
Autumn de Wilde, which is a great name.
Yes, and I think this was her first feature length.
It looked like it.
Film debut.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Genre, drama, comedy. Romance.
Yeah.
Common thread is my girl Anya Taylor-Joy.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I love a good shared actor. Which apparently I saw this quote from her that she says she didn't think that she deserved the role because she doesn't think she's pretty. And
I've seen that.
Yes,
she's pretty.
exactly.
Like, girl,
dude.
Both her and Mia Goth are
just
like my main girl crushes, and they're both in this. So I was over
there. Yes, they do such a good job, and they're both beautiful.
They're both so
and
pretty.
I think that just shows it's the stereotyping in Hollywood of what's supposed to be beautiful, and it's like I think different is pretty, and she has she has a different look to her.
Yeah,
but not in a bad way, in an amazing way.
I love their if they told me they were vampires, I'd be like, yeah, obviously. Like that vibe of cryptid looking bitches, just haunt me in the night. So I love their big bug eyes.
I know, like that girl from
oh yeah,
Fallout.
Dude,
yeah,
all those bitches.
She's got the eyes. Yeah,
absolutely, I love it. So jumping into the movie,
yes,
I wrote a lot because I forgot. I didn't forget the drama, but I forget how much back and forth there is, and I'm like, oh my God, this is too much. I would lose my mind in this movie.
It's so good. And I was crocheting while I was doing my little rewatch.
Yeah.
And the way that, even though I've seen certain scenes 6 or 7 times now at this point, and I put down everything to just goggle at it.
I know. It's great. Every scene and when you learn something new or think something new, it's oh my God.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Go ahead.
So in this Regency era, England, the best era of England, the wealthy and beautiful 21-year-old Emma Woodhouse, played by Anya Taylor-Joy, lives with her father, and I looked up his name. He's very recognizable, but I did not know how to pronounce his last name, so I don't want to try. Because the way it's written, I'm like,
Nahi?
It's like Nahi, Nee. I was like, what is that?
Yeah.
Anyway.
Hold on. Let me look.
Yeah, there's a lot of British actors in here that I don't recognize, but they have been in a lot of shit.
It's Bill Nye.
Is Bill Nye the science guy?
Bill Nye, apparently.
That's literally it?
I guess so. I guess it's Bill Nye. According to the YouTube video by Julien Miguel.
Okay. We'll trust it.
So, could be wrong, but yep.
Anyway, that's her father. And they live in the Hartfield estate in Highbury. And they are often visited by Mr. Knightley. And I just didn't know his name the whole time because they just call him Mr. Knightley. But apparently it is George.
Yep.
And he is played by Johnny Flynn, who I've never seen this man in my life, except in this movie. But he's been in a lot of stuff. He's apparently in an Alien series. Ripley. And I was like,
oh, really?
Oh, okay. I should probably watch that.
Oh.
So he's in that. But yeah.
You should.
He seems to be in a lot of British things, and I'm, very uncultured.
Yeah. I mean, fair enough, but
it's like when you watch
with our Hollywood,
like, who the fuck are all these people? But they're all just very renowned comedians.
They're famous British comedians, and it's like, I don't know anyone outside my little realm.
Yeah, I've never seen this person in my life. So, Mr. Knightley is a local landowner, and he is the brother to Emma's sister, Isabella.
Wait,
Isabella's husband.
No.
So, her sister's husband is the brother. So, he's technically her brother-in-law.
Well, it's her. You would say it's her sister's brother-in-law, is how you say it, because it's not her brother-in-law,
right? He's like in the he's just around.
They're somewhat connected.
Yeah, connected through that.
But like, also, let's not think it's weird because it's Regency England when people marry their cousins. So.
It's true. But I just won't bring it up.
Yeah,
I just won't bring it up.
No, I think that's good because I also was wondering what the connection was there.
Right.
Because I had forgotten, and she does at one point say we're not so much brother and sister. And I thought that was just because they're like close.
Yeah.
But okay, that makes sense now.
I remember them being like childhood friends. I don't know why. And I'm like, oh, I guess they're not. But they have that banter about them where it seems like they've been friends for a very long time. So that's, I guess, why I thought that. Anyway. And then we get the very long changing scene of Mr. Knightley, and we just see almost everything for no reason other than to just provide us.
Very, very quickly in the beginning, we have a full butt scene, and
he's just getting changed, and you just see his whole butt, and he's getting his pants on, and it's just very close up, and I'm like, wow, this is okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, they show like him holding himself in to go into his pants, and then I was like, all right.
It's very intimate, I'm like, should I be here?
Yes.
What am
right,
like I'm peeking through the locker room?
Yes.
So interesting scene. Not my most memorable, but it's memorable.
Well, fair enough. Yeah. They also do a similar scene with Emma where she's warming herself by the fire, and she lifts her skirts up to just get toasty and
get her ass on the fire. Yeah.
Right.
Very interesting scenes. But anyway. So Emma's old governess, Miss Taylor, is getting married, and Emma takes full credit for making the connection. So she gets all in her head and believes that she is this great matchmaker, and she decides to try and make another match after she learns about Harriet Smith, who's played by Mia Goth. And Harriet is a young woman whose parents are unknown, but her education has been provided for. So this makes it a little tricky because notable families can play a big factor when trying to find a partner. So Emma's taken upon herself to make a good match. So Harriet tells Emma that Mr. Robert Martin, a tenant farmer of Mr. Knightley, has proposed marriage to her. And she really likes this farmer, and he literally likes her, and he's really cute. But Emma, even though she claims to not interfere, she implies that she disapproves of this.
She's being a meddler just by the way she's wording everything. She's subtly implying this is not a good match. And in some ways it's fair, right? She has a bond with this woman, and she wants to see her have the best life possible, which if we're being honest is not to be, in that time being married to a tenant farmer, you're not going to have the best life ever because you're going to have a lot of work. You're going to have a lot of things to do. You're not going to live a life of leisure, which is what she wants for her, because obviously who wants to work? But at the same time, it's not kind of bringing into effect the concept of love and emotion and attraction.
And her background, so, which Mr. Knightley brings up. Hey, this is a good idea. What are you doing? But Emma is a brat. And so Harriet's completely listening to Emma and taking her advice because Emma is this established woman in the society, and she's, very apparently knowledgeable and pretty, and Harriet is just like, whatever you say. So Harriet ends up refusing the proposal, and then Emma believes that Mr. Elton, the local vicar, which I had to look that up, I didn't know what that was, but
see, I've read enough romance novels that I know what a vicar
tell me if I'm wrong, but apparently it's a priest working with or in place of the pastor, I guess.
Yeah, it's basically, it's basically a church.
I thought he was just sort of priest, but
priest. That's basically what it is. I don't know what it means in place of a pastor or something. I think it's just they have a vicarage. That is where they are the ones who give the sermons and whatever, at least to my understanding.
Right. And Mr. Elton is the actor really puts his all in this because oh my god,
it's the most it's Mr. Collins's character as
like almost creepier
to an extent.
Yeah. Mr. Collins is just
worse,
like
for sure.
Dumb.
There's an innocence to Mr. Collins. Yeah, there's a naivete, but this dude is a little creepy.
Yeah, he's a creep. And the actor's actually in the new Challengers movie. Because I was like, where have I seen this?
Oh, really?
Before? He's one of the main guys.
I have not seen Challengers movie.
Josh O'Connor. So he is. So Emma believes that this man is in love with Harriet, and he's just very. He's hanging out with them, and it almost seems like he likes Harriet. And so,
Mr. Knightley clearly knows what's going on too, though, because this whole time you're watching, Mr. Knightley has these knowing eyes, and he is like, Emma, you naive little girl.
Yeah,
essentially.
He's constantly just telling Emma to cut her shit, and he's just very open with her, and he's like, this is not what you think. And Emma's like, no, I know what I'm doing, obviously. Like, okay. So Emma's encouraging Harriet, and so Harriet's starting to like Mr. Elton and kind of is moving from Mr. Martin to Mr. Elton, despite Mr. Knightley's warnings. So around Christmas time, Isabella, Emma's sister, and her husband come to visit with their children, and this relationship. This man is
this poor man
wants to die, and Isabella's just one of those people that she's just a little crazy, the baby starts crying, she's like, oh my god, what's wrong? Get the
she's
doctor.
A hypochondriac. And it's this scene that has me realize, because I always say to myself, would I still be a hypochondriac if I didn't have access to Google? And this scene made me realize, yes, I would be.
Probably.
I would still probably be a worrier, because this woman is so afraid of sickness and ailments. Like the baby had a burp or a fart or something ridiculous, and then started crying. And then she is going nuts. She wants to call the doctor. The dad is getting all worked up. They're fighting over which doctor to call, and the husband is sitting there like, help.
Like, he's just like, I rather die. I might end it all. So a little later on, they're at this dinner party, and they leave, and Emma finds herself alone in a carriage with Mr. Elton, Nightmare, and he ends up proposing marriage to her, and telling Emma that he just doesn't give a shit about Harriet. He only wanted Emma the whole time. And he just wants her money and status. That's what he cares about.
Yeah.
So Emma refuses him, obviously, and Mr. Elton is furious. He disappears for a few weeks and eventually returns with a wealthy, pretentious wife, Augusta.
Yep.
Who has the longest neck I've ever seen. And I'm so sorry to this poor actress because the costume department really fucking was like, let's make her neck
I think on purpose. Yeah. I think that they did everything they could.
Yes. They would put these collars
make her look
and necklaces that just really elongated her fucking neck. And I'm like, oh, this poor woman.
Well, it's funny because she's all ruffled and bedecked and whatever. And then the character is basically saying, oh, you know, I don't want to make too much of a fuss about myself, but it's expected because I'm a bride. You know, I'm so much more modest than all this. But she clearly is loving being the center of attention.
Absolutely. And Mr. Elton's just like, he obviously married her because of her status and money, and they just do not have a loving relationship or built on love.
No.
So throughout the movie so far, two people have been brought up a few times that haven't appeared yet. One of them is Jane Fairfax, who is constantly being talked about by Miss Bates, and who is her aunt. And she's this older woman, a neighbor, who loves to talk about Jane to Emma and updating her on everything she's been up to. And Emma is a brat, so she's just annoyed and gets tired of listening to Miss Bates, and she just can't escape her. Every time Miss Bates ends up finding her.
I love that actress. So have you seen her before?
I have. She is what is her name? Oh, it was here.
Miranda Hart. Yeah, she's in a few things. I saw her for the first time in Call the Midwife, and there's just something about her that I love. There's a way that she plays her characters that is just so good. And I don't know how to describe it, but she has this way of just, I don't know, it's the way her voice.
She
does something with her voice.
Yeah, you want to like her, you know, she's though she's coming off as annoying, you're just like, you just like her. And I just get so annoyed with Emma. I'm like, just listen, just let her be. But Emma, and then she's 21, she's young and she's spoiled, so important tidbits. Anyway, so Jane Fairfax is constantly brought up, and then the other person is Frank Churchill, who is the son of Mr. Weston, who is the man who married Emma's old governess. So they are now the Westons, and he has a son named Frank Churchill, and they're both pretty eager for Emma to meet him because they think it would be a pretty good relationship. And Emma is also... And
you can see throughout... Oh, go ahead. No, you go ahead.
I was just going to say, Emma's just interested. Emma's interested. You know, she hears a lot of good things. That he's handsome. He has money. He's very rich. So...
Yes, she is definitely interested and keeps hoping that he's going to show up and predicting he's going to show up, and he doesn't show up to things, which is very strange because he doesn't even show up to his dad's wedding.
Yeah.
And there are excuses being made, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. But it's weird.
Yeah. She's constantly making excuses for him too, because Mr. Light is like, where's this guy? And he's just constantly teasing her. She's like, well, he's, you know, he's probably busy, or he's doing this and this. So eventually, so we meet Jane Fairfax, and at a small gathering, she's very beautiful and she's very talented. She's killing it on the piano after Emma sang her little song, which was cute. And then Jane Fairfax just ruined that moment. So Mr. Knightley teases her about that too.
It was so, oh my God, I think
he just like
too.
Not putting her down, but he loves to take her from her pedestal and just be like, you brat.
Yes. Which
come to reality
I
here.
love,
this
because
is where we're at.
It is. Yeah, we don't need if everyone had the overabundance of ego that, you know, Emma was suffering from, it's not healthy. You need to be down to earth. You have, you know, you can admit when other people are better than you.
Yeah.
You need to be humble. It's really great because, Mia Goth's character turns to her and she's like, nobody plays the piano like you. And then all of a sudden it's this dramatic playing by memory by Jane Fairfax. It's great.
It's so good. Emma's feeling a little jealous of Jane, but eventually Frank Churchill shows up. He's very handsome. He's played by...
He is played by Callum Turner. I was just looking him up.
Callum Turner.
Yeah. Unless
I know his face, but...
Is it Callum? It might be Callum.
Callum?
Yeah, he's got a very posh face. Like, they could not have picked a more posh.
Right. Like, he looks like
he's got
asshole.
His face has he's the definition of a Roman nose. He's got that very sharp, pointed nose.
It's just that pretty boy you can't trust, you know? Like,
yeah. There's something about his eyebrows, you know?
Sorry to
I don't know what it is.
Might be a good person. Oh, he was in all the Fantastic Beasts movies? I don't know what role he played. He wasn't the main guy. I'm getting distracted. Thesis, whoever that fucking is. I don't know. Anyway, it doesn't matter. He's handsome.
Right.
So
yeah, he's attractive.
He shows up and Emma takes a liking to him. And it seems like they get along very well too. They're, you know, talking a lot and they just have a good banter and good chemistry.
Yeah.
So Frank's arrival prompts the Westons to hold a ball where Mr. Elton embarrasses Harriet by refusing to dance with her after she's just been sitting waiting to dance most of the night.
Yeah.
And this is one of my memorable scenes. I had to like choose two, but they're both from the same scene. Mr. Knight sees this happening and he just walks up to her and asks her to dance. And he like I love Mr. Darcy, but Mr. Knightley is my ideal Regency man because he has kind of the not the atmosphere, the aura of Mr. Darcy, but he's very kind and he's very just he's very kind to everyone and he just has a good heart. And I just love him.
He's willing to put Emma in her place. They have that banter and that heat between them, which is really, really enjoyable. And he's not afraid to call her on her shit. But he also is just very kind and warm-hearted and thinking of others, helping his tenants and things like that, which we love to see.
He's a good man and he's got money. So
he's a good
man. He asked her to dance.
He's a good man.
He's a good man, Savannah. So they dance and Emma's danced twice with Frank because he asked her for 2 dances, which is a pretty big deal. And so they all danced and then her and Miss Knightley talk a little bit and she is like, okay, you know, you're my next dance. And this is my next most memorable scene.
Yeah.
Because this awakens this romantic feeling. And I'm like, my goodness.
Yes, I love it.
I love dancing scenes.
Oh my gosh. And then they do such a good job. The director knew what we wanted to see, which is close up on the hands, the intimate looks, the lingering looks. Yeah. And she specifically wanted there to be no gloves on that scene. And they had apparently an etiquette coordinator on set, which is iconic. Yeah. And essentially was like, is this okay? Can we make that work? And she said, because it's after dinner and they would have taken their gloves off to eat dinner, then it's okay for them to not be wearing gloves. But they are the only 2 people in the scene who are not wearing gloves. And it's just to show that sort of...
Yeah, because you could see, the connection and kind of like holding each other's hands a little longer than... It's so good. It's so good.
Yes.
Anyway.
And getting lost in each other's eyes a little bit. And...
It's I ate that shit up. So afterwards Emma is heading home and Mr. Knightley sees her in the carriage and he just runs. He runs to her home and I'm like, oh God, please.
I love it. And he looks really goofy, Ronnie, and his freaking regal outfit, whatever. But I am just dead at this point. I'm like, a man who's gonna run after her. Are you joking?
I love it. And he's running to her and she sees him heading to the house and she goes to meet him outside. But then they're interrupted by Frank, who's carrying Harriet in because she was apparently
the goofiest freaking
his Romani children. I'm like, what?
Right.
What is happening?
This is just so random and so wild. Random. And he keeps spinning her and she's about to hit everyone with her feet. It's very chaotic.
Yeah, very chaotic. And so they lay her on the couch, like, what is happening? What's going on? Right. And Harriet's like, Emma, I think I've fallen in love. And Emma's like, oh my God, it's amazing. Thinking that she's talking about Frank.
Yeah.
Because she pretty much said that he saved her. And so she's like, yeah, Frank did save you. This is amazing. So
and she's obviously moved on from Frank at this point. She's clearly into Knightley by now.
She's Emma moved on to Knightley quick. And is like,
did not take much, and I can see why, but
full on board with Harriet being with Frank. So then she asks Frank to stay behind to get Harriet and him to spend more time together. But Mr. Knightley sees this as Emma still interested in Frank. And I'm like, no, baby, no.
I know.
So then Emma, after
Oh, I was going to say it leads into my most memorable scene, which is am I skipping a part before I talk about it?
Possibly. I don't know. What is your memorable scene? I'll let you know. I'll cut this
when
out. Or you'll cut it out.
I'm the one editing. If you want to edit 3 in a row, go for it. When he goes home and he flops on the floor.
Yes, I think this was right after. Yep, you're right.
I love that scene so much. It's good. It's one of those like subtle things where you're seeing his angst and his anguish, and the servant comes in and then immediately leaves, and it just gives me the little flutters.
Yeah, to have a man that just overwhelmed with emotion and feeling and just throw himself on the floor is incredible. So
10 out of 10,
he is a 10 out of 10. So afterwards, Emma's trying to spend more time with Mr. Knightley, but he repeatedly ignores her and is just hangs out with Harriet a bit more rather than Emma. So on a picnic, it's just a big group of everyone, pretty much.
Yeah.
Frank tries to get everyone to play a game to amuse Emma. He's just being really annoying. I was like, why is he being gross? Not gross, but like he's just annoying. I don't know.
Yeah. And once we get to later, I want to talk a little bit about Frank because I have lots of things to say about him. I'm not his biggest fan.
Frank sucks.
He's for real sucks. Yeah.
Basically, they bring up something with, saying 3 dumb things. And Miss Bates is like, oh, I can easily say 3 dumb things anytime I open my mouth. And Emma says, oh, you do a lot more than 3. Like, basically, in English, in our English, that's what she says, which is so fucking rude. And Miss Bates,
so mean.
She gets emotional, and everyone's like, well, even especially Mr. Knightley, he was very upset.
Yes.
And they end up disbanding, and Mr. Knightley tells Emma off for how she acted. And Emma is just humiliated, but obviously, why would you fucking say that? That was so fucking mean. And this was my deleted scene because it's so mean.
Yes. It's so mean. This would definitely be my deleted scene too. I hated it. Mrs. Bates deserved better.
I know. So Emma does go to see Miss Bates and apologizes, and Miss Bates is just like, oh, accepts her apology. She just adores Emma. So she really did, was hurt, but she just thinks Emma's the best thing ever. Emma's fucking lovely.
Emma's lucky to have
So then we learn that Frank Churchill's wealthy aunt dies, and he's basically been caring for her, and the Westons reveal that he was secretly engaged to Jane Fairfax and was waiting for his aunt, who opposed the match, to die. So this son of a bitch, piece of shit, has been engaged this whole time. Crazy.
And I like can't with him. He's literally making fun of Jane Fairfax to Emma.
Yes.
At one scene, he's like talking about her, like, oh, her hair, that's the craziest hair I've ever seen, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
He clearly wants Emma to like him. He's leading her on. It doesn't make sense. I'm like, what is your...
Yeah, they had a very, like...
game.
He just loved to gossip with Emma and really bring out this side of her. And I'm like, this man is a piece of shit.
Addy. Yeah.
He is. So Emma hears this news and she starts crying before the Westons. And the Westons believe that she loved Frank. And they're like, we're so sorry. We really thought this was going to work out. And she's like, no, I'm not crying because of that. And she's crying because Harriet supposedly loves him. Like, what are we going to do?
Yeah.
So then Emma breaks the news to Harriet, and Harriet's like, I'm not in love with him. I'm in love with Mr. Knightley. And because of his actions, he went and asked her to dance, and then he was asking her about her interests and her engagements, which, you know, it sounds like he likes her.
Yeah.
And so Emma gets upset, and Harriet's like, you like Mr. Knightley. And so, but Emma says that if Harriet truly believes Mr. Knightley loves her, that she, you know, will go through with the relationship. She's not gonna interfere or anything.
Yeah. Which is a better friend than I would be. I don't know that I would be able to.
If I truly
say the same.
I know if I ruined a lot for Harriet, I would have been like, you can, you can have him. You know, like I would feel like fucking shit. Yeah, I'd feel like shit, honestly. But yeah, I would be very upset. I'd have to cry.
It'd be hard. It'd be see, this is hard. The one thing. Yes. In modern times, the idea of the one that got away doesn't make sense to me because it's just have communications with your person. What couldn't work out. But in the olden days, the one that got away is very real because people had to make choices based on livelihood and survival. And the person who maybe you were just worried wouldn't be a good fit because you didn't know them very well.
Yeah.
And then they get married to someone else. I can see in that Regency era, the aching and the...
Yeah. I feel like the one who got away, I don't know, maybe families who are super racist and you're dating someone that's of a different race, that could come into play.
Yes.
But
that's true. I guess it depends on other, you know, you have to make choices in life. And I have lived a relatively privileged life where I met my person and I stayed with them and whatever. So I'm being a little elitist here. I mean, like, I don't understand that. I have love.
I don't get it. So Emma is pretty much walking to clear her head after everything. Mr. Knightley finds her and he tells her that he's sorry about what happened with Frank because he still believes that she loves Frank.
Yeah.
But Knightley loves Emma, obviously, but she thinks that he loves Harriet. And neither of them are fully sharing their thoughts. So it's just confusion the whole time. But then he finally is like, I love you. Is there any chance that you would marry me? You see me more as a friend. And then Emma gets a nosebleed from all of this.
Which is a very controversial scene, apparently. A lot of people hated this scene.
Really?
But the I don't know. I don't see a problem with it. The director is prone to nosebleeds, and I guess Anya Taylor-Joy is also... or is it Joy Taylor? No, it's Anya Taylor-Joy. She's also prone to nosebleeds, and she actually did that on cue, which I don't know how that's possible.
How the fuck do you make your nosebleed on cue?
Picking it? That's the only thing I could think of is that if you're picking your nose, and then I can't imagine just forcing blood to come out, but whatever.
I don't know. I guess some people.
So she said it's her proudest moment in the film.
That's incredible. Wow. That's impressive.
Which is amazing. But I guess the idea behind it was just to make an awkward scene more awkward and to kind of, you know, they don't, not to have them betray their friendships and whatever, and to wait until everything's settled before making that
funny
next.
Because she realizes that he loves her and she loves him too. And I think it's just that shock. She just got a nosebleed. And so for me, if I could nosebleed, this would be what I would get a nosebleed from because that is just would blow my mind. I would lose my mind. So she gets a nosebleed and she's like, no, like we can't do this. I need to fix this. I can't accept your proposal until I fix this. I need to talk to Mr. Martin. So she goes to meet Mr. Martin to make amends, and she gives him this dead goose in a basket, which is horrifying, but I guess was a kind thing to do. With the portrait of Harry that she painted, which is a really cute portrait. And I didn't even bring up the drama of the portrait, but there's a whole
my god,
Elton. It's like goofy.
Oh my god,
you have to watch it. It's funny.
It's so funny. It's a great
scene. Harriet later tells Emma that she's accepted Mr. Martin's new offer of marriage, and that her father revealed his identity now that she's of age. And she learned that he's a tradesman who makes galoshes, which I had to look that up because I didn't know what that was.
They're like a clog, right?
It's
or a winter
something
shoe?
on a shoe. Yeah, it's a rubber shoe thing. So then Emma's happy for Harriet. They, reconcile, and she tells Harriet that her father has to come to the house whenever they come to Highbury. So then Mr. Martin and Harriet are together, and they're so cute together. They're really just the perfect little pair. So then we go back to Emma's family, and they're in the sitting room, her, Mr. Knightley, and their father. And her father notices that Mr. Knightley and Emma are just exchanging glances. And so he's like,
oh, I love
you
this.
feel a draft? Is there a draft? And multiple times in the movie, he brings up there's a draft, and then the servants would bring in these, what are they called?
Room dividers.
Yes,
these
dividers.
Various, like, four,
And so he says this, and Mr. Knightley kind of catches his drift and goes to sit next to Emma, and the screens hide the dad from seeing Emma and Mr. Knightley. And so they're talking, and Emma's like, I can't leave my dad. I can't leave my father. And so Mr. Knightley's like, I'll move here. I'll live with you. Yeah. That's fine. I'm like, I love him. Your Honor.
Yeah.
Honor. So then they kiss, and the final scene is them getting married, and she's so beautiful. I am so like
much. I know.
It's so sweet, and it's just the whole hand. I'm like, oh.
I know, it's so cute.
It's so cute. Anyway, that's the movie.
Regency romance to just do it better.
They hit, okay? They hit.
It's just every little thing. It's so much.
It's just better. Like they have to really work on the longing, you know?
Yeah.
And I think it just makes the romance better. Because you
it's nothing.
You have to wait.
Yes, nothing hits me in the soul more than these. And I don't know if you remember, but when we watched this together shortly after it came out. So I can't remember when it was, it came out in 2020. I'm sure it was later on in the year at something. But we were watching it together, and I literally was kicking my feet and squealing. I was losing my mind.
It's one of those movies.
It's just like very, very well done. And there are so many issues with certain, you can do adaptations well and you can do them poorly. And we've talked about this before. Persuasion, done horribly. I was excited for it. It was not done well.
Awful.
Which is a shame. This was top tier. It was phenomenal. It was done really. I couldn't have asked for it to be better.
Yeah.
And I was really thrilled. I think it is as close as we will get again to another Pride and Prejudice.
Yeah.
Sort of.
It's if we get another Sense and Sensibility remake at this quality, that would be my Roman Empire.
Yes.
I fucking love Sense and
Exactly.
Sensibility. But yeah, this is so good. Emma's it really is so good.
They did such a good job, and it's one of those things that it's baffling to me that it doesn't have a higher rating online because it's phenomenal. And I think some people have issues with, there's some inconsistencies with characters where I guess the dad is a little bit goofier, which I don't have a problem with. I think it was fun. It adds a lightness to the movie.
Right.
And it brings a little bit of that comedy into it. That's fun.
Yeah.
And some people were complaining about various things with costumes and whatever. And all the complaints I read, I was like, you're dumb.
Because
doesn't, whatever.
When I saw the rating, I was like, okay, let me rewatch this with new eyes. And I'm like, it's still good. I don't know what these people are complaining about.
No, exactly. I keep watching it, waiting. Exactly. I'm watching it, waiting to not be impressed with it. Yes. And I am still impressed. I'm still in love.
Yeah.
And happily will continue to stay in love.
Yep. This is a slapper.
Yeah.
So the rest of my review, MASH, Mr. Knightley, absolutely. Emma, I would after she's learned, but she started off a little spoiled, and I'm like,
yes, absolutely. She needed to be brought down a few notches.
Harriet,
Mr. Knightley did that.
He did that. Harriet, I think, is a little young, so I said pass because she just was very young, and I'm like, I love her. She's so cute,
and it was a naivete. Yeah, that's fair.
So Mia Goth, yes. Harriet, no.
Right, fair.
Likely to
we talked about that last week with.
Yeah, sorry.
We talked about that last week. Anya, no, it's okay. I know. Damn it. We have to get back in person one of these days. It's like we talked about last week with Anya Taylor-Joy. She's a gorgeous and was of age, but her character wasn't, and that's just
yes. Not cool.
Not cool.
Like, what? How old was Harriet then? If she was of age, would that still be 18, or would that be a younger age?
No, I'm pretty sure it was like 15 or 16. But let me look up how old Harriet.
Because I know she is supposed to be younger than Emma. Emma is like,
so she's 17.
Okay. Yeah, because Emma's
so not as young as I thought she could be.
Yeah. I wouldn't say Emma's a little old, but she is older and single, and she's not really looking.
She is. So. Right. 21 is verging on spinsterhood in Regency era. Yeah, if you make it to 24, I think they're basically like you're taking your hat out of the ring, and you're done. God, you're ancient at that point. So she's definitely getting on in years for society's sake. Not completely off the market, but definitely verging on that. And she doesn't want to. She says multiple times she's not going to leave because her dad keeps talking about how don't leave me the way your sister left me. And he's really funny when he's like talking about his sister, but poor Isabella, and she's like, she got married 7 years ago. Chill.
Yes, yeah. He's just always, I guess, still distraught that she left.
Yes,
but
yeah,
he's a girl dad. He loves his girls.
Yeah.
Likely to fall in love. I said 9 just because of the family relationship of Mr. Knightley, even though it doesn't matter. They're not blood related. But
okay, fair enough. Yeah.
It's still, I'd say 9 and a
little bit of a connection. Yeah. It is. I feel like it's not enough of a connection. I think even today that could happen today, and people would be like, whatever. But there is a connection there, and that's not ideal.
Yeah, it just I don't know. I would have maybe seen him differently if he was the brother of my sister's husband's brother. I would maybe see him more as family, unless I knew him before and I had these feelings that were inside me. But
I agree. When I think about my in-laws, I wouldn't think of it in that way. It wouldn't. It would feel more of like a connection than otherwise. So
so recommend. I would recommend to anyone. Even if you hate romance and Regency, I'll still recommend it to you.
Right. I was at my family's house, and we were going through that whole rigmarole I told you that we do, where everyone offers up a movie and we watch the trailers and we pick from them. And of course, Emma was my pick because I was in a desperate need to watch Emma. And I put the trailer on. It's just a teaser thing. And everyone's like, I don't even know what that's about. Oh, I don't want to watch that. It's such a Megan movie. And I was like, you all are missing out, you disgusting
you guys
fools.
Don't understand. It's fine.
No.
Uncultured. It's fine.
Uncultured. So instead, we watched Interstellar and everyone got to be sad.
Yeah, good movie, but sad.
Yeah.
It is
great movie, sad.
Not the vibes. Opposite of Emma vibes.
No.
Anyway, I rated this a 5, obviously. Why would I rate it anything less with someone with Mia Goth and Anya Taylor-Joy in it? Hello?
No. When I told Demi what the movie was going to be originally, your text back was, don't even need to watch 5 out of 5. And I was dying, because it's true. It's such a good movie.
I was like,
is this only your second time watching it?
It's my third time.
Okay.
But I could definitely watch it more. I just don't.
Yeah, your comfort movies and my comfort movies are different, so that's fair.
Yes. I just get too distracted. Regency, they're too distracting. I can't.
I know. You can't multitask with them. No. I was trying. I got nowhere.
No, it's too difficult. So, that was Emma. Fantastic movie everyone should watch. And you don't have any notes, right?
Yeah. Okay. I went in unprepared today.
That's fine. We're already at an hour, so.
Okay, good.
All right, I'll give you my movie for you, and I hope you haven't seen it. I don't know, you might have seen it, but it is, because of the Deadpool and Wolverine hype, I thought I would throw in a Hugh Jackman movie. Can you guess what it is?
Let me look at his repertoire.
No. He has to guess.
Oh, then no, I can't. I don't know movies. What, Hugh Jackman?
It is the movie Van Helsing.
Is it X-Men?
No.
No. Oh my God.
Have you seen it?
If I saw it, it was as a child.
Okay.
If it sounds familiar to me. I remember watching something about a vampire killer.
Yeah.
But it might not have been Van Helsing. It might have been something different. Okay. But I have not seen it as an adult, so I could not tell you what happens. Wonderful. I couldn't even tell you that was a movie he was in. So
wonderful. This was a staple in my childhood. Okay, I've seen this movie.
I'm excited.
20 million times, and is it good? No. Do I love it? Yes.
Oh, I love a good bad movie though. I love a good bad movie.
I can't wait to rewatch it. But anyway, it is about Van Helsing himself. He is sent to Transylvania to assist, what's her name? Kate Beckinsale. And her bloodline is in danger, and she is trying to defeat Count Dracula. And
oh my God.
It just has a lot of classic movie monsters in it, and it's just a fun time, and I think you will like it. But yeah, it's not mind-blowing. It's probably really cheesy now, but I love this movie, and I think it has such cool vampires and such cool werewolves, and it's just a fun time.
Cool. I'm excited.
Yeah, I think this barely counts as horror, but whatever.
I'm okay with that.
I was at a Hugh Jackman high, and I'm like, I have to do it.
Oh, fair enough. Sometimes you have to, you know?
Yes. So, yeah.
Yeah, well, maybe we'll just keep on with the actors, and I'll give you a Hugh Jackman romance after.
We already had a Hugh Jackman romance.
I know, but he's got so many.
The Australia.
Yeah, my immediate thought was The Greatest Showman, but...
Oh, yeah. I guess that's romance.
That one.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's romance. There's 2 romance storylines.
They're not good.
Come on, Demi. Shut up. I know you want real. If I'm gonna give you romance, I gotta throw it in a bucket over your head.
I gotta eat it up. Okay. They don't have bad shit.
All right.
Give me a vampire romance. That's what I want the thread to be.
Twilight is what you want. All right.
I do want Twilight.
I can give you Twilight. Maybe
no, we have
Twilight vampires.
Because Twilight's horror and romance. We have to do that.
Oh, it's our married one.
Yeah.
Yes, it has to be a joint one, and I feel like we have to watch it together and record immediately after, because nothing else will.
You're right.
Yeah, we'll plan that. Maybe we'll do it for Halloween this year.
Yeah, I'm down for that.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
We'll make it work. Anyway.
Yeah. Anyway, this has been How Do You Watch This? Thank you for listening. You can find us on socials, How Do You Watch This, or How Do You Watch, depending on if you're Instagram, TikTok, howdoyouwatchthis@gmail.com. And like, listen, review, subscribe, whatever the people say. Thank you and goodbye.
Bye.